Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video we'll be learning how to make the skirt, a simple basic skirt, short skirt. So the top, we'll learn the top in the next video. So if you want to learn the top, you check out my next video. So let's get right into the making of that skirt. So to cut this skirt, we'll be needing our rule, our measuring tape, our scissors, our chalk, then your measurements. So let's get right into this. First of all, you fold your fabric into two, then you get your waistline. So that's my waistline. So you get the length of the skirt we are trying to make. So here the length I'll be using is 17 inches. Then you add 2 inches allowance, hemming allowance. So you rule out your length and you also rule out your hemming allowance. So after ruling out your hemming allowance, you are going to get your waist to hip measurement. So here my waist to hip measurement is 8.5 inches. You also rule out your 8.5 inches, that's your waist to hip measurement. So after doing that, guys, we are going to start putting in our measurements. We'll first of all go in with your waist measurement, and that will be your high waist measurement. So your waist measurement divided by 4. You are seeing how I'm folding the tape, divided by 4. So you place it. So my bad, guys, I used the wrong measurement. Forgive me, please. So your waist measurement divided by 4. You place it, and then you are going to be using 3 inches. 3 inches allowance. 1 inch is going to be for your dart, while 2 inches is going to be the sewing allowance. Then on that hip line, on that waist to hip line, you're going to apply your hip measurement divided by 4. Your hip measurement divided by 4. Then you go in with extra 2 inches sewing allowance. The dart does not extend to the hip, so we are not going to be putting that allowance in the hips. So that is it for the hip measurement. Then you take the exact measurement you got for your hip measurement without the sewing allowance and bring it down to the hemming line. Do you understand, guys? So you connect your curves. So that is it, guys. The front of your skirt is ready. So we'll go right into cutting the skirt, the front of the skirt. You cut the front of your skirt. Remember your waistline, so you're going to remove that. Okay, so that is it for the front of your skirt. You are going to notch the upper part of your skirt, of the center of the upper part of the skirt. You are going to notch it. So we are going to cut the down part of the skirt. Now we are done with the upper part, so we'll be cutting the down part of the skirt. Now you extend your folded measurement because you'll be needing zip allowance. It's not going to be the same measurement for the front. Now you place your front on the folded material, the extended folded material. Now we are going to be needing a zip allowance of 2 inches. So I'm trying to achieve the 2 inches here, and that will be by the folded side. That will be by the folded side. So I'm checking if it's up to 2 inches. Yes, guys, it's 2 inches. It's 2 inches. You'll check if you're folded, if the allowance is up to 2 inches. So you see it's 2 inches, guys. So we'll start cutting out. So to make the back pattern of the skirt is very, very easy. Just use your front pattern to trace out the back pattern, adding your zip allowance. Very, very simple. So you cut out the back part of your skirt. So you're going to split the back part into 2. Sorry, I didn't know my camera didn't capture this part. You're going to split the back part into 2. And then you're also going to notch. Sorry, I didn't know the same notching you did on the front, you're going to do on the back. Sorry, I didn't know my camera did not capture this part. I'm so sorry about it. So you're going to indicate that this is the bad side of the fabric. This is the back of the fabric. Now I used to put an arrow on top of the fabric, so wherever is even though there is a notch, but I also like putting an arrow so as just to be very sure about it. So that is it for the back part of the skirt. So we'll move on to making the band. So the band of your skirt, I use 5 inches for my band. So after folding and everything, I land to 2 inches. So how to get the band of your skirt, you're going to use your waist, divide your waist, the length of your waist. So since this material is on fold, my waist divided by 2. So my waist is 30, so I'll use 30 divided by 2 is 15. So I'll add like extra 2 or 3 more inches. Do you understand, guys? So I think I use extra 3 more inches for my band. Yes. So when we are sewing, you understand why we used extra 3 more inches for the band. So guys, we are cutting. Let's move on to cutting the lining of the skirt. So you adjust your lining so you will not waste your lining. Adjust your lining. So as I'm doing, I'm checking whether the under is not short. So after that, you cut out your lining with the exact way your skirt is. That's how you're cutting out the line. This is the front part of the skirt. So also notch or put that arrow. That arrow, guys, I don't play with it. So you fold again for the back part of your skirt. And you place your skirt. Then you also cut out split open. This was what I was doing in that video that my camera didn't capture. You split your lining open. That's the same way you split your skirt open. So you place the front part and the upper part of the lining. Look at those arrows that I used to indicate the upper part. So you measure 1 inch or the down part of your skirt. You measure 1 inch and then you cut it off. You cut it off. So that is it for the lining. So let's move on to the sewing, guys. So to sew your skirt, remember the part I put the arrow was the upper part. So you're going to sew the down part of the skirt. You're going to place your lining on you're going to place your lining on the front part of the material. Like your lining should be facing the front part of the material as you sew. So you sew with less than ½ inch. That is ¼ inch. You are going to sew with ¼ inch. This is the hem part of the skirt, the down part of the skirt. So after you've sewn with ¼ inch, you are going to top stitch. You are going to open that lining. Yes, look at the way I did it. Then you top stitch on the lining very close to the end part of the dress. Do you understand? This is called top stitching. You make sure you push your Ankara towards that side the lining is, and you top stitch. I'm going to show you guys. So look at it. See, I pushed my Ankara towards that side the lining is, and I top stitched. Then you're going to still the lining facing the front part of the Ankara. You are going to sew the side using ¼ inch. You are going to sew the side using ¼ inch, or if you can even sew less than ¼ inch, but it's not going to be too close to your lining. It's also good so that you don't tamper too much into your sewing allowance. So you're going to sew. We are still sewing facing the front part of the Ankara. Sorry guys, my inner thread caught, so I had to fix it. Okay, so you sew. So you see that place that we shot, that 1 inch that we removed from the lining, you see the effect on the dress. You see guys, so it dragged the Ankara into the dress. Don't worry, when we iron, you will see the effect of that 1 inch we removed from the lining. You will see the effect on the dress. So this is the other part, the other side of the skirt. You are also going to sew it. As you can see, this is the back of the Ankara, which means the lining was facing the front part of the Ankara. Emphasis, please don't forget. So you are going to turn inside out. We are going to turn inside out. So this is why I asked you to place the lining on the front of the Ankara and sew. As you're turning inside out, this is now the front of the material of the Ankara. Do you now see? Do you see? So by the time we iron this out, our Ankara is neatly folded inside, so the roughness is inside. This skirt we are making, there is no need to weave. we are making a simple skirt that you don't even need to weave because it is neatly turned in. Now you are going to sew on top of the ankara. This is the top of the ankara, that part you notched, that part you arrowed. So this is the top. You are going to sew it on the lining. So this is it, guys. So we are done with the front part. So this is the back. You are going to repeat the same process for the two back. You remember that the back is two, it was split into two. So we are going to repeat the same process for the back of the skirt. Now this is the down part I'm stitching. This is down part I'm stitching. After which I will top stitch. The same process we did with the front. After which I will top stitch. Then after top stitching, I will also sew the side. And also sew the other side. So this is the same process that we did for the front. We are repeating it for the two backs. And then turn inside out. You turn inside out. Please remember to click on the subscribe button and also share. Please guys, remember to click on the subscribe button and also share. Thank you guys. So this is the other back piece. You know it's two, so you also repeat the same process for it. The upper part, no. The down part, yes. Repeat the same process for it. So this, you see what I meant by dragging it in. So we are going to go to the table. We are ironing. This is the front part of the skirt. This is the front part of the skirt. You see what I meant by dragging it in. You see that 1 inch you removed? Are you seeing it? So we are going to iron it very well to smoothen it out. Iron very well. Iron very well. So this is the back part. You also iron very well, to smoothen it out. The other back part, you iron. So we are going to put our dart measurement. This is the back part. So the dart I'll be using is 4 inches plus that 2 inches allowance. Yes, then the length of the dart is 5 inches. Sorry, I think I'm a bit fast here. Then the length of the dart is 5 inches. Then for the front, you fold into 2. Then you get your, from the folded part, you get 4 inches. And then the length, 5 inches. This is the front. You turn over to the other side of the front. You know it's folded into 2. You also get your 4 inches. And then you get the length of the dart, which is 5 inches. So I decided to iron out the band immediately before I move over to the machine. So you press your gum stay on your band. The gum stay is to give the band rigidity, to make it to be firm. So it will not be too soft, and if your band is too soft, it will be folding. Do you understand? So you iron gum stay on your band. So you iron gum stay on your band. The gum stay has the side that is shiny, that has gum. That is the side you are going to place on your material, on your fabric. So you iron it to stick to your fabric. Turn the back of your fabric and iron very well so that it's going to stick very well to your fabric. Trim out all the excess. So you are going to fold both sides of the band by 1/2 inch. You're going to fold 1/2 inch both sides of the band. Remember, we used 5 inches for this band, and we decided to land at 2 inches at the end. So both sides, you fold 1/2 inch and iron, press it down. So you're going to fold it. Do you see the way I folded it? You're going to fold it. So this is how to get your band ready. So my band is ready. My band is ready. So you move over to the sewing machine. You're going to sew your dart. Look at how to sew that. You fold your dart. Then you're going to sew with 1/2 inch. You're going to sew your dart with 1/2 inch. You sew your dart with 1/2 inch. So you bring your 2 back piece together. That's your zipper allowance side. So you are going to minus 9 inches. Some people do 8 inches, but I like 9 inches, 10 inches, depending on the person I'm sewing for. So here I minus 9 inches and then closed back with 1.5 inches. Remember we gave 2 inches for our zipper allowance, but I'm closing with 1.5 inches because we already turned in some inches while we were turning the skirt. You understand, guys? So look at it here. I used 8 inches. So I'm going to sew my zipper now. Look at the way I sew my zipper. You place that front part of your zipper to face your fabric, and then you sew on the back part of the zipper. Now I like using long zip because I don't like my zipper to be short, guys. So I put the excess on top, then a little bit on the down part, so that I can cut out the excess from the top. Sorry, my thread cut here. I had to fix back. So after sewing this side, you also turn over to start from the down side to sew the other side of the zipper. So this is it, guys. This is my zipper, neatly sewn, guys. Okay, so we are going to be joining the front and the back piece now. The front and the back piece, we are going to be closing using our measurements divided by 2. Remember, when we were cutting, we divided by 4. But here now we'll be dividing by 2 because our fabric is spread out. Do you understand? So my waist measurement is 29. So 29 divided by 2 will be getting 14.5. 29 divided by 2 is 14.5. 29 divided by 2, 14.5. So I've marked out that 14.5. Then that 14.5, you're also going to divide it by 2 because you're going to shear to both sides of the skirt. Do you understand? So I think I had 3 inches left or 2 inches left. So I divided it by 2. Look at what I'm doing. Yes, 14.5. Then you also divide the remaining one by 2. Okay, I had 2 inches left. So I divided by 2, which means 1 inch this side, 1 inch the other side of the skirt. So you also go down to your hip part if you're finding it difficult to locate your hip pads, you can locate from waist to hip. Then you place your hip measurement. My hip measurement is 38. It's 38. So that is 19. 38 divided by 2 is 19. Then you also share that. You see what I did, guys? You also share that. Then you sew down. You sew down. You sew down. So you flip to the other side. Remember, we shared those allowances we got, so we still have one left. So we are going to put one on this other side. 14.5. This one I measured. Now I measured from that place that we sewed. Let me show you. Measure from that place that we sewed. You see, from that place that we already sewn ahead to this other side. So here is 19. Let me show you again. From that place that we already sewed, that's also what I did for the waist part to this other side. So we have here 19. Sorry, my thread cut. Sorry guys, I didn't know it wasn't sewing. I just had to loose that up because it wasn't sewing rightly. So you sew down. So that is it. We have closed our skirt. Our skirt is almost ready. At this point is remaining only the band, and then to fix our skirt hooks. So we are going to open up the zip so we can cut the excess off. Cut off the excess of the zip. So this is our band. Remember, we already ironed our band. So we are going to fold it like this, and then we are going to close it. At this point, I hope you have subscribed to my channel, guys, because the top of this dress is going to be our next tutorial, and I bet you can't afford to miss that. So please kindly subscribe and click on the notification bell. Your comments are also important. Tell me what you think about this tutorial. And tell me how to serve you better on my next tutorial. So here is how to place the band of the skirt. You leave some excesses. Remember, we left excesses when we were cutting the band. Remember, we added 3 more inches to when we were cutting the band. So here is where it comes to play. You leave like 1.5 inch excess in the beginning of the band and at the end of when you're sewing the band. So this style I'm using to sew this band is, let me say, beginner friendly style. Remember, I told you guys this tutorial is going to be beginner friendly. Now, this is not the only way you can sew a band. In fact, this is the simplest way to sew a band, but because we are on a beginner's class, that is why I'm sewing it this way, so it will be very easy for you. So you just place the top of your skirt in between the bands. Remember, we folded in half inch on both sides, so you place it in between and then you sew on top. Very, very simple. At this point, I don't really know why you have not subscribed to this channel, because I believe the top of this skirt is more interesting than even the skirt, like the style. So please kindly subscribe and hit on the notification bell so that our next tutorial, that is the top of this skirt, you are not going to miss it. Hit on the notification bell so you get notified whenever I post the next tutorial. So you close the other end of the band. So this is me closing the other end of the band. After closing, you fold it in. Fold it in. Yes. So this is it. Then you finish up the remaining part of the skirt. So that is it. Our skirt is 80, let's say 98% ready. So this is it. You close. So this is it. This is how it will be after you have put your skirt hook, which we are about to put now. So the next thing is your skirt hook. So this is the skirt hook. It's called hook and eye. Hook and eye. So this is the skirt hook. So I'm tying my thread here. I'm tying my thread here. So you first of all mark out where you're going to place your hook and eye. You mark out where you place your hook and eye. So here, that is the eye. So you place it, then you sew from behind. So you sew. That's when you go down to the second one from inside. Here you sew. You sew like 4 times or 5 times, so it will be strong enough so it doesn't fall off. As you can see, I think I sew like 5 times so it will be strong. Then you tie at the back. You tie it up at the back. Cut. Then you're going to place your hook on that marked area, that place we marked for the hook. So this is how it's going to be so that it will enter the eye ahead. So you place on that marked area and then you sew. So see the way I'm sewing it, you sew multiple times so it will be strong enough. And as I'm sewing it, it's not coming out on the upper part. Can you see? It's not coming out. So you sew, you only get this material. You're not going to make it to come out on the outside. So you don't want your work to be rough. So that's it, guys. You don't want your work to be rough. So you press it down, you press the hook down so that it will fit into the eye very well. So you see my work very, oh, who is not loving the skirt? So guys, please subscribe. There are many more coming on this channel. Kindly subscribe. Thank you guys. Please make sure you subscribe. Hit on the notification bell. So next time, see